Hey guys, welcome to another NRW video. I'm your one of your hosts, Mr. David, and I'm here with my buddy from another nutty, Mr. Rob the Movie Guy.
How are you, everybody here? Pleasure to be back.
As always. And Rob and I actually have an exclusive first look at a brand new trailer for Gretel and Hansel.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you heard anything about the film because I wasn't really familiar with it. So this is, like you said, this is going to be our first reaction to this trailer here. Have you heard any rumblings from this at all?
No, it's like the first time I actually get to see something finalized. We just kind of like, hey, you guys got to check this out. The only thing that I think we kind of talked about, we heard rumblings of one of the actresses being attached to a fairy tale movie, but we weren't expecting this. So when we kind of saw like who was going to be in it, we were kind of like, oh, okay, let's see what this is about. So we're about to see that now.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, this is going to be our most authentic reaction because I don't think I've ever heard anything about the film other than some possible rumblings along the way. But even then, that was all in passing. So who knows if one of those films I've heard about was actually this film that we're going to be looking into. So this is going to be our reaction here, and then we'll give you our thoughts afterwards. So let's get started.
A fairy tale has a way of getting into your head, even before you hear it. Somehow you just know it. And it always went like this. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I'm called Gretel, and this rough one here is my brother Hansel.
Ouch! Tell me how you came to be in my woods.
There's too much, and it isn't right.
You're scared.
There's something wrong here.
Careful, dear. I'd hate for you to start something you can't stop.
Okay.
That was interesting.
It was. I'm curious. Not excited for it, but I'm curious. What's your take on it?
It piqued my interest. I like it that it's a period piece.
Yes.
That kind of really upped the creepy factor.
Yeah.
The setting is perfect. Obviously, it's going to be in the woods, but like they really picked a really great location, and that opening shot with just the witch outline was actually really perfect.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the Wizard of Oz with that imagery right there. When you heard
the classic witch imagery. Yeah, that was like nice setup.
Yeah, and I like the woods. You can see the layout of the woods. You see that full backdrop there. I like that a lot. You kind of have that autumn look to it as well too, which certainly helps with the feel of the film as well. Were you surprised to see? I forgot the actress's name. The young girl that played I think Beverly in It, in the first It film.
That's It's of course she's sticking with the horror genre here, so we'll see what the period piece here. She did a great job playing Beverly there.
Yeah.
So this is kind of more like a somber tone period piece. So we'll see. It's actually really caught my attention. Like,
yeah,
it's a perfect time to release it. You know, you got it right around the autumn time. Halloween's right around the corner, but this is releasing till next year.
Yes, it's coming out in 2020, which I'm a little surprised about that too. But then again, I believe it's coming out in January, which is probably the best time to release a film like this during that time of the year, because I can't imagine having this released in October and may not have the impact that maybe a January release would probably have for a film like this. So I'm looking at it as probably a smarter move for them to do that, because Orion's the same company that also was a studio behind the Child's Play remake, which came out in June, which I always thought was a terrible idea for most horror films to be coming out that time of the year. and part of the reason why I think wasn't that successful. So for them to do it like this in January is probably a smarter move, I believe. But yeah, I can see this film probably take a that sleeper hit approach if it if enough people gravitate toward this film. But like I said in the beginning, for me, I'm on the fence, not because I don't think it's going to be good. It's just that I'm just not a fan of the Grimm was it the Brothers Grimm story? So which is this based on? I'm familiar with the story. I remember as a kid, which I know there's a much more violent version of it in the original story. So outside of that's really my knowledge behind the work there. I mean, do you have any familiarity with the story here? Ever reading the books and whatnot?
Yeah, I actually got into a TV show that's kind of based on it too. Grimm, obviously.
Oh
So,
yeah,
and then yeah, I read some of the stories to kind of catch up because like us growing up, we had like the kiddie friendly version, and there's
yeah,
like the actual real Grimm versions, which are a lot more darker in tone and kind of more straight to the point. Well, not straight to the point, but a little more darker in their themes
yeah,
and the what's the word I'm looking for, and the moral of the stories.
yeah.
Being said, I'm really waiting to see what the twist is on this because I mean the story's been told over and over and over again. There's got to be a twist, and even they think
Twist? You really do believe that?
there's got to be a twist. It's like even the trailer's kind of hinting at it, kind of like okay, all right, there's every story has a different version. Like okay, all right, kind of like how they're sticking with the story vibe. Um, but it's piqued my interest. Like I said, and I agree, it's probably gonna be one of those sleeper hits where it's like, yeah, you got to go see this movie. Um, January release, early in the year,
Yeah,
what happens.
yeah.
But what do you think of the witch or the
I
witch? No, we don't know.
Yeah, she looked interesting, and the fact that they're kind of keeping that as a period piece, and I'm pretty sure they're trying to keep it as realistic as possible for a story like this. Um, it definitely was not distracting. So I could imagine if they decided to go that more stereotypical witch approach, where she has a long nose or that look for a fairy tale like this, it could probably take me out of the film, especially with that real life setting they're trying to go for here. I can say that that would be a distracting factor, but this is not the case at all. In fact, I thought that the look of the actress playing the witch looked pretty cool. Although the hat, though, that you see in that silhouette shot, I thought looked really cool. So I can't wait to see that play out more in the film if it in fact is going to be the actual costume of this character here. So I'm curious to see that. So there's a lot of things that interest me about how they're going to approach the film that would make me want to go see the film. I just don't know right now if I have the urge to go see it in theaters. But that being said, though, I definitely would want to check it out there, and that's where I'm at right now. So those are my thoughts at this point here. Well, how about for you? Would you want to go out in theaters to check it out?
Um, it depends. I want to see more. I want to see more of it. Like this is the perfect trailer because it kind of grabs your attention and it wants you asking for more. And it didn't reveal too much away. Like it's really keeping the story kind of really hidden, and that's what I really like about these trailers and stuff like that. This is how you make a trailer. It makes me want to go see the movie, or at least know more about the movie,
Yeah,
because it's actually building up the anticipation for it to come out. And I like that they're really taking, like you could tell even with the trailer, the shots they're using, the cinematography is actually pretty well done, and some of the imagery used,
yeah,
uh, like the darker tones with the bright
yeah,
red, smoke coming out of the house, and
yeah.
like the contrast there. It seems to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree with you on that aspect of the film. I'm just I hope it's not a I hope it's not going to be a disappointing film in terms of what the approach they're going to take, and it's going to be kind of a slow burn, but not a slow burn in the sense where it's slow burn and something that builds up to something very meaningful or spectacular, if you will. But I hope it's not a slow burn where you're just dreading for the film to end. I hope it doesn't feel that way for me, because I think a couple of films that kind of has that slow pace to it, but it still turned out to be a very good film. One of the first films that comes to mind is The Babadook, which is a very slow movie, but it's a wonderful film. Didn't see the whole thing for this film with The Witch, which kind of this film kind of reminds me of that witch look where you have a very slow paced movie, but the payoff at the end was well deserved. But that's how I understood it worked. I haven't seen the whole film in its entirety though, but I intend on finishing it. But that being said, though, I'm hoping that's not the case here, where it's going to be a boring film with no satisfaction at the end. So, we'll see. But again, the Brothers Grimm stories have never really captured my attention to want to go check out the work. So, with the actress here playing, I think she's playing Hansel. Is that right, or Gretel? I can't remember who's who.
And Hansel is the brother.
Okay, so Gretel. So the fact that she's playing in the film, and I love what she did in It. I'm curious to see how they're making her portray this character and how she takes on this character too. So I'm curious to see how she does that. And quite frankly, the witch is also a bit of an interesting character for me to check out, because I'm curious to see how they take their interpretation of witches in a story like this here, especially with a more realistic tone to it here. So yeah,
You can tell, like, it looks like it might be one of those family stories. You kind of could tell she's protective of her brother, so maybe we'll see something out of that. Like I just look at the trailer and looking at him, like I feel like the little brother is going to be very naive and kind of like, he's going to take a liking to the witch, and the witch is not a bad person, but the sister's going to be like, nah. I don't know. And like, I'm just trying to, what's the story going to be? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But I'm interested. I think I'll probably end up seeing this, at least get a review for it.
You got that there. Okay, cool. So those are our thoughts of this trailer here. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys are going to be interested in watching it in theaters, or would you rather rent it? Are you not interested in the film at all? Let us know. And while you're here, please be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification button there too. You can also follow New Release Wednesdays on our social media here at the NRW on Twitter, and on Instagram, New Release Wednesdays. You can follow myself on Twitter at RobMedina0585, and on Instagram, Rob_Medina0585. And my good buddy from Another Nutty, you can follow him on.
You can follow me, David is Disaster, on my Twitter page, on my Instagram page, and just look up David Estacado or David is Disaster on Facebook. So just follow us up. As you can see, we put up these videos every week. If you want to check out the rest of the NRW crew, they have awesome reviews on other videos when it comes to comic books, movies. This is the place you want to be when it comes to all your pop culture stuff.
All right, you guys. Until next time, cheers.